dum da dum. No mercy. Reimburse me. Not worthy. Bench pressing. We stepping. For my crew.
Okay.
From view.
All right.
Ain't right. Think twice.
Yeah, all right, cool. Need a shot.
I'm straight waiting on you.
Waiting on me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Good.
you need a
Questions you
shot,
gonna
nigga? Do you need a shot?
Sometimes.
Go ahead and get you one, brother.
Welcome back to another episode of Open Ranks. It's episode 2. I gotta say, Coop and I sit around all day, whether it's texting or via phone calls, thinking about all the episodes we want to shoot, how we want to shoot them, and all the guests that we want to have. And I think today is probably going to be one of our best. We've been waiting to have our guest today on the podcast for
a year,
a really long time. I think it might even be worthwhile to show the text messages from the last time we tried to plan to do this. And I think what happened that night?
Just tell them.
Everybody was ready. I think it was you that wasn't ready. I had to look. I seen it this morning when I started the group chat.
You're not about to play like that. You're not about to play like that. You seen it this morning. You just said that.
I seen it. Yeah, we scheduled it. We had it scheduled, and then you hit the chat.
You went to a whole concert. Yeah. Me and Alasha just right there waiting. Like, where is this man at?
Yeah, you did kind of.
Oh, I forgot I had a concert to go to.
And then a whole year went by.
I ain't tell you I had a concert to go to.
It was your fault. Just own up to it. It's okay. Accountability.
Accountability. I like that word.
It bears no relevance here.
Without further ado, relevance today.
I want to introduce Alasha.
Hello. Hold your applause. Hello, everyone.
How are you?
Hello.
I'm so good. I'm so good. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy we could finally get this episode done. I'm ready to talk, catch up. I'm happy. How are y'all?
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to see both of y'all as well, especially Alasha. It's been a long time since we talked, so
yes.
Very good to see you. You look healthy. You look happy, like you're having a good time. So
I'm not gonna go as far as to say a good time, but an okay time right now.
Okay, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to that for sure.
We're gonna get to it. You are our first guest for the relaunch of Open Ranks. Felt most appropriate to give people something really good to hold on to as we continue to roll everything out.
It might be nice to open up with a bang. And I think this is going to be a banger. So
Absolutely. So. And thinking back to how we used to bring our guests on, the one thing that we used to do always is ask first name, hometown, so people can kind of get a feel from where you're from and the accent that's going to creep out at some point throughout this episode. Right.
All right, y'all. So I'm Alasha. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. Mm-hmm. So you might hear that pop out here and there, but I'm a little cultured, so I don't got the accent that much. But yeah.
That's good. Where have you been stationed? You said you've been cultured. I have to assume that the military plays some role in that.
I would say so. So I've been stationed at Joint Base Charleston, and then I finished up down at Keesler in Biloxi.
That's not too bad. That's close to home.
I went on 2 deployments: Qatar, Kuwait.
Talking to 2 people that
have never deployed.
Never. I mean, I can't now, but you either, Walter. Okay, and you're still there. No. So
never deployed. So I'm kind of happy about that, honestly. No, not for what.
It's a great experience. I mean, it could be.
You
But
mean
it's,
staying in the desert 6 days a week, 12-hour shifts? Why don't do
you know,
that? 120 degrees, 1 day off.
when you put it like that, it don't sound that good. But when you come back and you look back at everything, you like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
I
I
really
mean, yeah, because
overcame.
you
Okay.
back now. Like, it's over with. Like, I don't foresee wanting to go and do something like that, especially after some of the stories that I've heard. Like, that's not something I'm gonna be like, yeah, I want to deploy. I really want to deploy. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait to deploy. Like, no,
Right. I want to overcome all of those hurdles.
yeah, no. I want to sweat and not, have hot water. I want to share a room with 4 people or 2 people or whatever, living on a bunk or something. No, I'm not. I'm good.
You summing it up. You summing it up real good.
You feel me? I ain't trying.
Yeah.
You summing it up.
Before the deployments, though, we were all in basic training. And one of our icebreakers is we'll go, what is your best and worst memory from your time in San Antonio?
Oh man. Okay. Can I use a time from my tech school? Because I was in tech school in San Antonio too.
Yeah, she can. I mean,
Okay.
I think that's because for them, it's all kind of in
It's all in one.
one lump sum.
So I'll say, okay, my best time was in basic training. And honestly, y'all, it was me running in front of my mom during like the airman's run and just happy I didn't pass the fuck out because a bitch couldn't run. I didn't care about none of that other stuff. I was just happy I could keep up with everybody because
Right,
that's what I was worried about.
right.
And I say my worst time was probably in tech school. I had gotten in trouble because I had like a tongue ring in my mouth and I had told like the rope, I said, I don't give a fuck. Like, y'all know me. I did not care. And she was like, all right, I'm gonna tell on you. I was telling on you.
You fucking snitch.
So she told on me. And I mean, I'm livid. And I'm like, girl, you're a fucking snitch. Why would you go and tell?
Right.
Well, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. We out in the woods in Camp Bullis, Texas. We out in the woods, and my instructor comes up to me he had been on leave for like 2 weeks, and the first thing he heard about was me with my tongue ring, cursing a girl out, calling
Wow.
her a snitch.
Wow.
He calls me off the bus, and he stands me in front of every fucking body. Okay, it's a good 150 of us. Stands me in front of everybody and he looks at me. He says, I hate the fucking color green so much. I hate hearing the color green so much. I would chop down all these trees around me if I could. Now, I'm saying this real calm, but this man is screaming at the top of his lungs in my face.
Right.
I would say that's probably when I say, who am I fucking with?
And him saying that he hates the color green was definitely aimed right at you.
At me. He said, I'm so tired of hearing the color green or looking at the color green. I hate the color green so much. I would chop down all these trees around me to not see it. I said, oh my God.
Did it make you take the tongue ring up?
Oh no. So yeah, this man is, just at the top of his lungs screaming at me, telling me he hates pretty much everything about me.
Because your last name is Green also.
And my last name is Green.
Right. I think that was the part. I knew when I was listening to the story that knowing Alasha Green, that's why that was so significant.
That's why that was so significant. And when I tell y'all, I mean, I look back at it now and I laugh because truly it was hilarious. And looking at him, I know he was trying hard not to laugh. And everybody, all the instructors around him was trying hard not to laugh. But at the time, that hurt so bad because it was like, damn, he hate green so much that he want to cut the trees down. We're in a forest.
Right.
So
Let me say, so you, even after that experience, you didn't want to take your tongue ring out. And I think for most of us going through the process of basic training and then tech school, all of that is meant to serve as like what do you call it? Like a period where they're
Like
essentially
a
breaking you
breakdown.
down. Yeah, breaking you
Yeah.
down, trying to rebuild you in their image and stripping you of some of the
Yeah.
things that's most important to you. You knew that
Yeah.
that was part of the process coming into it, though, right?
Yeah, and I would say like that plays a significant part in like how my career went, the 8 years that I was in, like that plays a significant part, and that really like started my career off in the way that it went. Like we're gonna get into it, but the problems that I was having in tech school, like that day, like that really catapulted into
All of it.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
It set the tone, honestly, for me as a young airman.
Right. Why'd you join? Wait, like even before all of this, even before the everything took place and what it ended
Um,
up being.
Honestly, I joined because I was in ROTC in high school, Air Force ROTC. So I thought that I liked it. I thought that, I would like the military. And I didn't have money to pay for college. So when
Yeah.
they start asking about FAFSA and all this and how you gonna pay for college, I'm looking at my bank account. I ain't got no money. My mom
Right.
ain't got no money,
Right.
and I didn't want to put that burden on her to like take out loans in her name and stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
truly didn't feel ready to even go off to college. So I just went to the Air Force.
And when you went down to the
Same reason I
recruiting
joined.
office, that's the same reason you joined. I think that's for most people.
Yeah, for a lot of people.
I just went
At
because
least
I
trying to
was
get
like,
college paid for.
I said, I wasn't even thinking about college at that time. I was like, I want to make some money and I don't want to go to school no more.
Right on the head, right there. I mean, college was an option.
Yeah.
I was, like you said, I wasn't about to pay for it, and I wasn't gonna make nobody pay for
Yeah.
it. And I really didn't want to go in debt to pay for it.
So,
And then also that mindset of just I'm tired of school, don't want to do it.
yeah.
You know, makes sense.
Yeah. So you enlist and you come in as security forces. Was that first pick, second pick,
You
third pick?
know, yeah, and I'll go to my grave saying that my recruiter tricked me because
Oh
that
man.
motherfucker knew what he was doing.
Right.
Um that's the only way I can put it. He told me, hey, if you don't put security forces on your list, you can't enlist. I was
He
like,
lied.
Yeah. He
oh
lied.
yeah, and I realized he lied. And then I got to basic training, and they were like, so you saying he lied? They was like, if you saying he lied, then it's gonna do this, it's gonna be yada yada yada. And I was like, I'm just trying to graduate.
For real, for real.
I'm just trying to get through basic training. I don't want to say he lied. I don't want to press no
Right.
charges. So I definitely got kind of tricked into security forces. Fun fact, it was a few people from my high school that went through this same recruiter. I kid you not. If it was 7 of us that went through him, 6 of us got security forces. I was in tech school with people I was in high school with. Like
That's
some of my
crazy.
friends from ROTC.
That's crazy. And I don't think we've ever talked about that on here. I don't think we've ever talked about recruiting and what that process is like and what choices you do have and then what choices you really don't have as it relates to just getting into the military. I think we always start with like basic training memories.
Yeah.
Walk us through that, Alasha. Like you make the decision you want to go to the military and you go to the recruiting office and you got MEPS, and just tell us a little bit about that, because I don't think we've covered it at all. And then we can pivot back to where you get tricked for many people right in that pocket.
For me, it was a really easy process. Like I didn't have a tough process getting in the Air Force like so many people have. Like it was a real quick, easy, boom, bang, you in the military. Well, my school made seniors, they made juniors and seniors take the ASVAB mandatory. We didn't have a choice. So I was lollygagging when I took it. I had no at this point, I wasn't set on going to the military. I was still thinking about college. So I didn't take the ASVAB seriously. So I got a lower score. Well, when I realized I wanted to go to the military, called the dude up. I was in a meeting with him literally the next week. Probably 2 weeks after that, I graduated high school. 2 weeks after I graduated high school, I was already at my first visit to MEPS.
Okay.
that was like early June. I went back for my second visit and my in processing, like the swearing in visit for MEPS 2 weeks later. Like what I'm saying, this is a quick process. From the time I called the recruiter to the time that I was swearing in to the Air Force, probably a month and a half tops.
Damn.
June. So yeah, that was June. He called me back around July 4th to tell me that I had a job secured, security forces. Now, this is how I'm like, a bitch got tricked. Because just 3 weeks ago when I was at MEPS,
Right.
I asked the man, like, hey, do I really have to put security forces on my list? And the MEPS man was like, no, you don't got to do it. He gets on the phone with my recruiter real quick, gets off the phone after about 2-3 minutes, and he like, oh yeah, you got to put security forces on the list. Within 3 weeks, I get a date to ship out 2 months later. So like I say, this all happened. I called the man in May. In September, I was in basic training.
It's pretty quick.
That's quick as hell. I was in that process for like a year.
Yeah, mine was too.
About a year.
So,
I was firm though. I was firm though. I wasn't bending on what I chose.
No, I turned a couple things down. Like, that's not what we came here for.
well,
I told him I was ready to go, but he was like, oh, okay, yeah, we can do this, blah blah blah. But I got this job. It came up. I think it was security forces. Like, I got this job. If you want it, it leaves next week. Trying to play that you ready to go.
Yeah.
Get you out of here, But I was like, nah, I'm good.
So I also want to put into perspective, like, the area that I was living in when I enlisted. So I was living in Mississippi. I was living in Natchez, Mississippi, which is a smaller, poor area of Mississippi, probably one of the smallest and poorest. And I think this recruiter just had the mindset of, recruiting as many young Black kids, getting them in the military, getting them out of this area. So he was just pushing security forces on most of us.
Right.
And that's just what it was.
Just to get y'all going.
Just to get it. Yep.
And then recruiters have a quota to meet.
And they have a quota to meet.
Okay. The quota. That's what I was about to mention.
The quota?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to get people in and out of there. So
they got to.
Do you think they got to get a certain amount of people? You think they got to get a certain amount of people for certain career fields, like security forces? Like, I need you to get 20 security forces people.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, got to. Yeah. Got to. Because you think security forces, services, them is like...
Them the biggest
one, they had every...
Air Force.
They're like the backbone of the shit. Like, every station has them. You got to keep bodies there, and you probably not finding a whole lot of... It's not a whole lot of people, I'd have to imagine, coming to the office like, I want to do that.
Right.
So you got to kind of backfill that shit. I couldn't imagine how else you could do it besides tricking them. It ain't a whole lot of people coming in there. A few like, oh, I want to be a cop. Yeah.
I wonder what the penalty is for not meeting your quota. Because, like, what can they really do?
I guess a markdown on your EPR.
Probably a markdown on your EPR.
A markdown for real?
You're not doing your job. Not to the best extent.
And then they want to preach integrity first. That's kind of hard, bro. To be out here lying to new people.
Because
I'd be writing it off like, how y'all going? How am I supposed to lie to people? What you want me to do? Nobody wants to be security forces.
Right.
It's not what they came here to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you join, and now we're in Big Blue, and I think another reason why we set out to have this platform, to have these conversations, is I know for a fact when you think patriot, you think airman, you think soldier, you think hero as it relates to wartime. For me, there's an image that is kind of standardized that's associated with those words. And it looks a lot more like Steve Rogers than Alasha Green or even Coop and myself for the times that we were there. So the opportunity to talk about what it's like to be in uniform as a Black woman is not one that we take lightly.
Yeah. Y'all know that song, that Jay-Z song. What he say, like, house nigga, field nigga, rich nigga, poor
Yeah,
nigga, still nigga.
right.
Mhm.
Like, it's like I was still a nigga. I was a woman, and I was a black woman, and I was a young black woman, and I was a pretty young black woman, and a pretty young black woman that wasn't stupid, that, you know, spoke up for herself, that, you know, I didn't back down from a fight, like kind of feisty, rambunctious, you know, just really outspoken and a strong personality. And I don't think that means well in the Air Force, period,
No.
but it surely did not mean well being security forces in such a white male dominated career field. Like, it just didn't, it didn't
Those two
work.
things didn't go together.
It didn't
Uh,
blend.
so then what was it like? We'll go straight from San Antonio, Texas. We'll go straight from
Um,
so basic training, got tech school, and then you make it to your first duty station. What was it like every day in your
I
work center?
mean, it was rough. Like, every day was rough. For a long time, every day was rough. I mean, it took years. It took years before I could say I didn't have a rough day at work, whether that was in basic training in tech school. But I think it was more obvious in the operational Air Force, because I mean, I was by myself. I was on my own. Um, I saw a lot of microaggressions. I saw a lot of discrimination, a lot of, you know, how to say it. I needed to be a certain way, but if I was too much of that way, then it wasn't good enough. But if I wasn't enough, it still wasn't good. Like, it was a lot of meeting expectations that I just really couldn't meet. And I feel like I lived
Yeah.
a constant battle every day, waking up to go to work. I remember when we were in Charleston, when I was an airman, I was like, okay, what's next? What's today gonna be? What's the issue gonna be today? Like, what they gonna say about my hair today? You know, and it's stuff I couldn't even really control.
It was
It's
just
like,
like you felt like you couldn't be your genuine self in the
yes,
workspace. Like you didn't feel seen, you
right.
didn't feel heard, you didn't feel valued. Like
Right. And I always felt like I was walking on eggshells. Like I say, I was waking up dreading going to work, because it's like, what's next? What's gonna happen today? Like, I was getting in trouble. I was getting in trouble not even doing shit. Like, I'm getting in trouble sitting in my dorm room, not do I'm coming into work the next day with, being met with paperwork because my supervisor think I did something.
What were they bothering you with? So you mentioned your hair. You said they thought you
So
did something. What were the
so
microaggressions?
um it was definitely a big one, was hair, because um I c- I came in a time where black women were coming into their natural hair more. So black women were, you know, getting tired of having weaves and getting tired of doing perms and stuff. Like, we were trying to embrace our natural hair. And if y'all remember, I had my natural hair, I had my curls.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I kid you not, from the time I touched down in Charleston, July 14th of 2014, the motherfuckers was on my back about my hair. 1 minute it's too curly, you need to make it flat, or the color, them highlights, you can't have that, or is your hair done? Is it I have my
Wow.
I got that one time.
Wow.
Is your hair done, or your braids too long, it's too thick, or like, it was just always something. I remember even here as a staff sergeant, as a staff sergeant, y'all. Um, I'm sitting in a car with my partner, another staff sergeant, a white male, and I still had my fro. This was before I got my locks.
Mm-hmm.
And he reaches over and he touches my hair. He was like, how do you get that like that? How do you do your hair like that? And he's like poking my hair. I've had flight chiefs when I come in with my hair done. They come and they go like that. Oh, your hair looks nice. Like touch it, just
That's assault. And I'm
It's
snitching.
teetering the line of a lot of
a lot.
inappropriate things.
I dealt with a lot of rumors. Being pretty and young, yeah, like rumors from fucking the NCO tier, mind you. I'm an A1C. I have rumors from
Right.
people. They don't know my life. They didn't know what I did, who I was
Right.
outside of work. But if I come back from my 3-day weekend and I'm saying, oh, I had fun, now they have these speculations. Oh, Green must be wild. Green a whore. Green is this. So I was dealing with that too at work, like going into work and having staff sergeants, tech sergeants, master sergeants spread rumors around the unit about me, about my sex life and stuff like that.
And at that point, you get in trouble on both sides, right? Because it's the speculations and the
Yes.
accusations that you got to deal with. And then being as
Yes.
outspoken as you are, you respond or you push back or you challenge. And now
Yes.
every day, whether it's you being attacked, you responding to being attacked rightfully, the hole for you is unfairly getting deeper.
Mm-hmm. So it was like one thing after another. And then a big thing I had an issue with was being late. Like I was late to work, but I knew that I had a hard time getting up. And I asked these people, y'all, put me on a different shift. Like, why y'all keep giving me paperwork when y'all could just put me on a shift that I can show up to work at? It took these people so long to just move me. I kid you not. The day that they finally moved me to another shift, I came in and signed paperwork that day for being late.
What?
Wow.
What time you had to be at work?
No, sorry, cool.
So the morning shift, I had to be there for 5:45 a.m.
Okay, so that's another part of this. I think people don't really understand, like the dynamic
That's true.
of being a security forces personnel. You know what I mean? Like what does that even look like, right? You come to work. I hear it's like 12-hour, 14-hour shifts or days.
So luckily, we were only working 8-hour shifts.
That's
I've
not bad.
worked 12-hour shifts. Mostly 12s were like on deployments and stuff because security forces had a big reform around that time to where they were trying to put most bases into 8-hour shifts. It was supposed to like increase productivity. It didn't because conditions was still trash. But they had us in 8-hour shifts. And the shifts were 6 to 2, 2 to 10, and then 10 to 6. But I just told you I had to be to work I'm lying. I said 5:45. No, I had to be to work for 4:45 because we had guard mount. So before work even start, we all meet up. We have to get our weapons. We have to talk about, any pass-ons that the previous shift have. So an 8-hour shift in reality turned into a 10 and a half hour shift. A 12-hour shift turned into a 14, 16-hour shift. If you got a big flight, the end of the day, it take a long time to turn in your weapons. Maybe your flight chief got something to talk to you about. So the days were never just 8 or 12 hours.
Yeah.
That's insane. I started to laugh when y'all started talking about being on time, just because historically, I'm not known for being on time for much. I honestly, I was late today for this.
Yeah,
I do my best, and I just what I've always
that's
wanted
all
to
we can
say
ask for.
is I do my best. Like I know what time to be there, and I always feel like I have more time than I do, and I haven't gotten any better at that. I just want to say that it is the plight of my life. Really,
you should be working on it.
You should.
In my younger days, I used to just tell people, I work harder than all of y'all when I get here, and that's what matters.
You slap him in the face after being late.
That's what matters. You get here early and do nothing. When I show up, everything gets done.
Everything is done.
Hey, and
I
then
don't
they
say
leave
that
you alone,
anymore.
bro. But
Yeah,
they leave you alone after that
they
because they have
did.
to sit
They
there and
did.
reckon with it. Like, damn, you're right.
That's true. And I never heard much about it again. It's a
Alicia,
different time,
have
though.
you gotten better?
Actually, I think I've gotten way too good at it.
Oh, so you early?
Way too good at being punctual.
Way too good. Wait, you know how the military say, 15 minutes is late.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I got you 30 minutes. You can't be late if you 30 minutes ahead of time.
Yeah, no, thanks.
I account for everything.
Hey, listen, that 30 minutes to get you some good cool points too. So if you're young in the military and you're listening, it look good. I'm just gonna say
30 minutes.
it look good.
15, you are late.
Cause listen, I done had some airmen come in like 2 minutes before, and we were just looking at them like fucking dirtbag, like tired of you, bro. And they was on time for real.
See?
They really was. I wouldn't hear none of that shit. I don't want to
Because
hear
you
it.
was late. You didn't even hear no
But
roll calls.
civilians don't care about that stuff though, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not. It's
So
absolutely not. What
so when you
that
30
shit that they
minutes
tell you,
early, people be
they
like, what
like
are you doing?
Yeah,
nobody else is there. Like you be
yeah.
every meeting I go to, I'm early. I'll be in that bitch like Fresh Prince, last episode of the last season. Like nobody else is there. People be walking in with their coffee, just putting their
Right.
bag down. Like
How long you been
it's
here?
For real.
you
Yeah,
just
they don't.
wasting your own time at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's quite.
Crazy.
It's a lot of things that you get told about what
Yo,
the
they
outside world
laugh
is
at you.
like.
You 15 minutes early, you get laughed at. What are you doing?
Right.
You got
Hold
nothing
on.
better to do?
It's different where I'm at. Like this unit that I'm in, it's nothing but NCOs. So they already expect you to be on top of it. And if you're not, something else is going on. Like, I don't know, your morning was bad or something. And they just be like, all right, bro,
Yeah.
whatever, come on,
Yeah.
that's what we got to do. Like nobody's tripping.
Mm,
Nobody's getting put to work
And
for
that's
being
part of
late.
it too. I think the assumption now is like everybody got kids, everybody got this, everybody got that. So like the assumption more times than not is like if you're not here 15 minutes early, the reason is probably great and it applies to many. So
right.
we're not really digging into it anymore. I think that does
Right.
change things, especially with you being all NCOs, and then in most professional environments, you don't necessarily have as many like airmen or kids as you will that you're looking to groom and grow into this, that, and the
Right.
third. So no, I can get with that. You mentioned your sexuality being challenged, your hair, your style, essentially your
Mm-hmm.
aura, and everything that we know to be you.
Mm-hmm.
As you're fighting this fight, did you ever have allies? Because that's the most important thing about fighting, especially I think as a professional. It's not so much just your willingness to speak up and stand up for yourself, but do you have people who are willing to speak up and stand up for you? Because their voice might be able to carry further.
Initially, early on, no. And I think that's why, I went through so much because I had more people like looking at me from the sideline saying, oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. But
Right.
nobody actually wanted to take the responsibility
Right.
and step up and help me. It wasn't until I was a senior airman. This guy, he was actually one of my friends. Like when I got to Charleston, he was a senior airman and I was an A1C, and we was friends as airmen. Well, he got staff sergeant and then he became my supervisor. And it literally was not until him that I had somebody like have my back, help me out, like talk up for me and be like, look, Green ain't that. Like Green,
Yeah.
not everything y'all think she is, or she got another side to her, whatever. He was the only person that actually stood up for me and that actually saw something in me.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
that's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he black? Was he white?
He was black. He was
Had to be
black.
black.
He
Had to be
was
black.
black. He was black and he was so cool. He was a good friend and he transitioned into a good supervisor. And, we never had the issue of crossing those boundaries.
Yeah.
So at work, we was able to keep it we was able to keep it, you know, professional when we needed to, and after work we was able to, you know, kick it and be friends and be cool.
Yeah. No, that's super solid. 'Cause I think that was a
Yeah.
turning point for my career when I finally stopped fighting as hard for myself because I was arguing with everybody and anything walking. And so
Mm-hmm.
when I stopped doing that and started getting to the point where you had other people speaking up for you, Sergeant Price was one of them.
Yeah.
We got into it once, and he kind of seen me for who I was, and he ended up being one of my best supervisors, best friends. Sergeant Aon, we got the honor guard, right? Even that whole experience we talk about all the time was so nice to be seen and accepted and um, valued just for how you walked in the door. And so stuff like that kind of really helps to remind you of who you are and really expands on who you can be when you have those type of people around you that's looking out for
Mm-hmm.
you. Because I couldn't imagine going through the amount of things that you had to have gone through. And obviously we were there. I remember, and I'll say it because I don't know if you want to get into it, but I do remember coming out the DFAT one time, and I don't know if we were supposed to eat lunch together or something, but I don't think you ever made it because you got arrested.
I got arrested.
Yeah, I walked outside because my dorm was on the other side, and so
I got
I was like, I don't know
arrested.
where she's at, so I walked
Man.
out to the other side, and she out there in handcuffs. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I got arrested. I got arrested as an A1C. Like when I tell y'all, like the devil was on my back. Every turn, it was something like I was literally walking into problems, not knowing it was even a problem. Like that
Yeah.
day, I just wanted to eat. I had been
Mm-hmm.
at work all day. I was still working days. It was summertime. Like literally, I just
Hot
wanted
as
to get the
hell.
fuck out of my car and eat.
Mm-hmm.
I got in trouble because I didn't have my beret on. That ended in me getting arrested. And the crazy thing is that the bitch that arrested me ended up getting kicked out like 3 months later. I was like, okay, bitch.
Yeah, she's standing there in handcuffs in uniform, and nobody knew why until later. And it's like all because she didn't have her beret on, which is
I didn't have my beret on.
a hat for those who don't know.
And yeah, I was walking in the dorm parking lot from my room, well, from my car directly to my room.
This nigga here is so petty.
That's so
When
petty.
Laisha got arrested,
but
you didn't know
look,
this?
No.
but look,
Oh,
this literally all feeds into like who I was or the battles that I thought I had to fight. Like that was a petty situation, but
mm-hmm,
it spoke volumes like about how hard I thought I had to fight to preserve myself. Like how hard I thought
mm-hmm.
I had to fight for my respect to the point where I was getting arrested by my
Yeah,
coworkers.
right. For mind you, you got to think. Trying to always paint that picture for those who haven't been in. We're all on this. We're all on our duty station. That's where we work and live up until we hit a certain point or a certain rank where we can move off base, be in apartments, this, that, and the third. And so, no differently than college. By the time you make it out of class, by the time you make it out of work, you get to your parking lot of your dormitory. You're kind of like at home, if you will, right? It's a little bit more carefree. You're at ease. You're looking for a little bit of peace of mind. And so, it wasn't uncommon, and it's not because it was right, but still not uncommon for people to get out their cars and they don't have their ABU cap on or they don't have their beret on. Or if you're on the flight line for 12 hours, you might have some flip-flops in the car and you're not wearing your boots on the way back to the dorm. So it wasn't really anything that at this point Laisha had done that was like
Especially
overly wrong. It was common, I think.
especially with the AFI at the time having saying that if you're in, if you're in your domestic space, if you're
Yeah,
in your home, you don't have to have on a cover. Yeah, you can
yeah,
have on a rescue uniform, but you don't have to have on a cover. So when I had got in trouble, I even brought the AFI up. I said, so does this not apply to the dorms? No, this
mm-hmm,
don't apply. I said, but this is my place of residency. Like this is where y'all telling me I have to live at, but y'all
right,
telling me as far as the AFI, it doesn't match. So that was also something I would, when I would spit AFIs, I would also get told, what their interpretation of the AFI was. That was
yeah.
a
Yeah. Yes.
So that was
Absolute
why I got
BS.
arrested.
Absolute BS. And I said that just because it echoed on the different hardship. Like a nigga like me, I didn't have a shaving waiver, but I wasn't. I never shaved often as I should have because I ain't like my face being broken out. So that just, you know, I used to get in trouble for that all the time. But I'm like, I don't break out enough to get a waiver, and I'm not shaving enough to break out enough to get a waiver. So y'all just gonna have to deal with this stubble.
Deal with it.
Yeah, no, that never makes sense to me too, because they used to make you get a waiver that would last 1 month.
As if this is
And
not
you
an
had to-
ever persistent problem.
And then you got to come back and have it reevaluated
Right.
Each
just to
month.
receive another waiver for 1 month.
Right. And you have
I mean,
people
it's
dry shaving in the bathroom, bleeding, all type of dumb shit to fall in line with this regulation. And for me, I'm like, nah, I ain't messing up my face for this. It don't mean that much to me. But then that's the double-edged sword of, obviously, it just proves that Laisha shouldn't have gone through what she went through for not wearing her hat, because I didn't get arrested for none of that same stuff. Of course, Coop didn't, Coop walked the straight line. He didn't do any of these things. So
he wouldn't know.
He wouldn't know.
He wouldn't know.
I don't think I've faced any like hardships in terms of like dealing with people not allowing me to express who I am as a person or just as a human, period. Like shit that I can't control. So yeah, you could say I walk the straight and narrow. That's cool too. I mean, I'm not against doing that.
No, it's okay. Listen, I think it's great. It's different strokes for different folks. People can't help it. I'm sure Draymond can't help it. There's things about it that I wish he can't control.
I feel like
there's things that he can help, like kicking people in the balls. But his outspoken nature and his inability to like run away from those moments, he probably can't help that. And then somebody like Steph Curry, like Light Bright here, just stays out of that all the time, and that's okay.
Right. And that's okay.
And they're the best friends because of it. That's why we need both people.
Yeah. Don't enable him. Don't enable him.
Enable who?
You.
I'm healed now, brother. This is in my past life.
I will say this too, though, in terms of like being able to express yourself and get away with certain things. You got to have some really good work ethic at the same time. Like you can't come to work and not do your job well.
Yeah.
Right.
Expect to get, away with shit.
You definitely got to set a tone. Yeah, you got to have a leg to stand on for sure, too.
Man, again, it didn't matter what I did. I mean, I had a laser on my back to the point where if I smiled, I was working at the gate. If I smiled too much at the gate, I got talked to about smiling too much. Oh, you're being too bubbly. If I didn't smile after being told I was being too bubbly, oh, they think you got an attitude. What?
And that's just the plight of being a woman.
Like, it was just, I was nitpicked so much. So if you look at my EPRs, and you talk to people and everything like that, I feel like I was just nitpicked to the point where
it starts to change who you are. Yeah. It starts to change who you are. Obviously, you go through different spells of depression and all type of shit.
Yeah.
It's not fair, I think.
Yeah.
When it boils down to it. Laisha Smiles, one of the best things about her. Imagine telling her not to do that.
That man came up and told me, Green, you being way too bubbly. It looked like you flirting.
Wow.
I said, okay.
Yeah, no, that's nuts. I was going to
ask. Nothing you could do. There's nothing you could do without being sexualized, to just put it plainly.
The sexual side of it was a whole nother beast. Like,
because now you're dealing with comments.
Like, I was harassed. Like, it was this dude that I worked with. He was security forces too. And I was harassed by this dude. He tried to force his way into my dorm room one night and like put his hands on me. And I got like no protection from him from that situation. I told everybody I got no protection from that at all. Put a restraining order on the dude, and he found other ways to contact me. He would contact me through other people. He would leave messages through other people to give to me when I was leaving work, or he would leave stuff on my car and stuff like
Jesus
that.
Christ.
And I would tell, and nobody would do anything about it. Yeah.
Wish we would have known. Was he in the
The
dorm?
He should have said something.
yes. Y'all probably knew who he was.
We could have masked
Y'all
up.
knew who he was.
I'm always ready to put on a mask, I swear.
Y'all knew. He was that security forces dude. His name, I'm not gonna say his name. He was that security forces dude. He was like, "You're colored, Henry." He had always had the real nice waves.
Jesus Christ. You know how many niggas had waves?
No,
What type of
he
car
had
did he drive?
waves. He had that little
That's a good one.
orange. He had that little orange 2-seater.
Orange 2-seater.
I can't think about what it was.
Wait,
but
Camaro?
no, it wasn't a Camaro. It was something else. He was so quiet, and he worked out. He was so quiet.
I don't know.
Orange 2-seater. Did he hoop with us?
I don't know. He was weird.
Damn, what's his
Man, I
name?
feel like we hooped with everybody.
His name was I forget his last name. His first name was like Jarius or something like that. I forget the boy last name. I
was gonna say we only know last names.
Yeah.
It's the last name.
Well,
business.
Regardless, like it was just no protection. They didn't offer protection. They didn't care.
That's fucked up.
They didn't care.
But
that's so you told your leadership and they just like blew you off.
Blew me off.
Like, yeah, whatever.
They didn't care. Blew me off.
Did you ever consider like going above your leadership?
No.
Like going to what is it, EO?
No, I didn't know nothing.
Probably
about
defeating
it.
At that point. Either I mean, there's an element of it you probably don't know, especially at that time, how many resources, but you done told 10 people and nobody fucking with you.
Nobody do anything. And to have genuine concern and tell people, y'all, I'm scared. Like this dude is doing X, Y, and Z. He's stalking me. He's texting me, calling me names. Like this dude is harassing me. Y'all already put a protective order against him. And, he's finding ways to for them to just be like, oh, whatever. And I think it was part because, like I said, they had rumors like swirling about me. Mm-hmm. And I think those rumors like just overshadowed any validity that I had. Mind you, I had literally just went through a sexual assault court martial from tech school. I got sexually assaulted and just finished a court martial. So it was like just back to back and they didn't care.
I am so sorry you had to deal with that.
Yeah. Cause I didn't know. And I think what's sad is like, people don't talk about that because it's Alasha wouldn't be the only person that could say that she's gone through some of these things. And I don't think we have an infrastructure that cares enough about it as far as support, responsiveness. Even with all the trainings that exist, I think they do it. I think the only thing they do is announce that we have a problem. I don't think it solves them.
Mm-mm.
They just be checking off boxes.
Then they be checking off boxes. What is a sapper and some of the different things that they have in place. I don't think that they just kind of let people know that, hey, this is a thing that happens, but it's not like I don't see it as a strong call to action, which is what this requires. That sounds like terrible leadership in every way imaginable.
Absolutely.
Are any of those people still in? Not to name them, but I just wonder. That's leadership so poor that it would be hard to imagine that they're good at anything else. I think that's awful.
I don't think any of the people that were my leadership at that time, I don't think they're still in.
Can't be.
And no, not none of them. And the ones that are still in are like fucking senior master sergeant stuff.
Right. So they're untouchable at this point.
Untouchable.
Probably still a part of the problem.
Do you have any idea what the ratio is for men and women in security forces by itself? Because I know it's crazy for the military, but
It's crazy for the
Man,
military in general, but
I can't give a ratio, but I can say, like, let's say we have a flight of 20, 25 people. We might have 3 or 4 girls or women on
it's
it.
nuts.
Might.
Yeah.
That's nuts. And that means you don't have many peers at your level. And then worse than that, it doesn't create a funnel of women leadership in that AFSC as a whole. So there's not a lot of women flight chiefs and probably first sergeants and all the places that you would kind of need women to be if you only got 4 out of 30 every time you look at a flight. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and maintenance can be like that too, where you
Yeah.
got so many more men than you have women, and
Yeah.
not knowing who you can talk to when. No, I hate to even know that you went through that. I wish you would have said something. I wish you would have
Yeah.
said something. That was a different time.
It
That was
Oh,
such a
was.
yeah.
different time. That was such a different time. I wish you would have
It
said something.
was. And like I felt like I had so much going on, like, and I loved y'all so much. I didn't want y'all to be involved in that, like, that side of everything. Like, I like to keep things light. Like, Alasha, she late to work, or she always get in trouble. She always doing crazy stuff, whatever. Like, I just wanted to keep things light. Like, I didn't want to
Because
get
that is kind of
so,
what we knew. It was like,
yeah,
oh, she got in trouble. I know she don't go to work on time.
yeah. But it
That
was so
happens.
much deeper.
Yeah.
I was miserable.
Yeah.
I was just miserable. Like, and it's hard to, do right and be right when you just miserable. Like, it's hard to get up and go to work. No, even though
Mm-hmm.
you have to, it's hard to get up and go to work knowing you about to have a fucked up day.
Yeah.
Knowing that 3 out of 4 of your days is gonna be fucked up. It's hard knowing that, the next, like, you don't know what the next day hold, what the rest of the day hold. Like, it's hard.
I applaud you for your resilience,
Yeah.
and the smile that you carry.
I had a bomb
Um,
therapist.
Yeah. Cause I never knew, I ain't gonna lie. That
I
smile
was
hid
I
it all.
was I was going to therapy every week for 3 years until I had deployed that first time. When y'all met me, I had been going to therapy every single week for them whole 3 years, sometimes 2 times a week.
well,
I would get up and go before work when they had switched my schedule.
right.
If you had the power to put in place a policy that would benefit women in the military, what would that policy be?
It's so deep rooted
Yeah.
that I don't even think a policy can, like, it's microaggressions, and there's no policy that can, trump a microaggression
Or regulated?
Right.
or
Right.
a regulation, because they've tried to make regulations to try to beat the microaggressions, to try to weed out any discrimination and stuff like that, but you still got people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's people you need to replace. It's not even policies, it's people.
Wow. Yeah. Because you bring in, I think you bring in so many. Everybody's coming into the military from so many different walks of life, and so everything that exists in the normal world is brought into
The
the military
military.
world. And it's not to say, obviously, we're talking about advocating for women's hardships and experiences and things they go through that they shouldn't. That's in every professional space. There isn't one probably in the entire world that's safe from this. But I would say even worse off is the fact that, in theory, right, like at a office, at a corporate office, all these things are still happening. People are getting away with a whole lot of shit, buddy this and buddy that. But in theory, people can be fired, and there is a track in which they can be held accountable. But like in the military, that's not necessarily a thing. It takes a lot to kick people out. So all of
It
these
takes a lot.
terrible qualities, to me, are almost locked in and rigidly in place, because there's not a whole lot of movement. These people that she's talking about, that she was working with, that she wish she hadn't. That's probably 3 straight years. They're not going nowhere,
Yeah.
right? Even if you're in trouble, what you gonna get what you got to get demoted twice before you can get kicked out normally. Like you got to do even a fight in an article, you're still there. I guess it's stagnant as far as the people that you're forced to be around and some of their poor qualities. And I think even when Gotti and I tried to do that program that was targeting diversity and stuff like that, I was like, you got to fix that shit right here at the airman level and talk about some of these things and force some of these people to see things that they otherwise ignore, because it's you can't fix it as a tech sergeant.
You can't.
You didn't hurt too many feelings, said too many crude comments at the wrong time. It's too late by the time you make it to the tech sergeant point.
Yeah.
We used to talk all the time, like you got to mind everything that you say, every joke that you tell or don't tell, or every reference that you make in a movie, the things that you comment on, like all of the small things, because that one comment that you say on day one could be the difference between somebody calling you drunk on day 70 of the fourth year that they know you. Right? They going through their call log. I can't call this person to come get me, to come help me because of what they said on this day. I know for a fact, like I'm not safe. Or God forbid something happens that you're not involved in. They're not going to come tell you because of how you talk about, women and other things. Otherwise, they're like, no, this isn't a safe space. So I agree. It's definitely a people problem.
Yeah. You got to think too, people not wanting to change or get rid of some of those policies that make them comfortable, especially when you think about the military as a whole. Like in my unit, there's only a couple women and then maybe a few black people. So like in the whole entirety of it, I'm not trying to generalize all of the white folks, but they're predominantly who are there. You know what I mean? So the policies that we've had to deal with in terms of the structure of the military and the way it was built, it's just something that it's going to be very hard for us to change because they're comfortable. It's written for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? We talk about
And they
shaving
don't like
waivers
change.
and hair and all these different things. These are things that we have to overcome every day. And it's only worse for women, especially black women. So I can only imagine.
That's why when people ask me, to reflect on the 8 years I was in, or even asking me like, did you like it? I can never just say yes, because I experienced so much that I can't say I had a good experience, but I also got things from the military to where I can say I didn't have a bad experience all the time. So
yeah. What were some of those good experiences?
Oh, let's see. Well, meeting y'all,
Man.
easily one of the best experiences.
Yeah.
Of being in the military, of being at that base.
Yeah.
I think I had to meet y'all when I met y'all.
Yeah.
To like keep me going.
Yeah.
So,
no, for sure. For sure. I don't have the group chat anymore, but I know for a fact I sent it a few times. Like, I'm out when y'all out. I fucking hate this shit. Like,
yeah.
It's
like,
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm here as long as y'all here.
Around.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes. So meeting y'all was like a high point of the military. Let's see, my first deployment, because I would say that was a turning point for my maturity. That's when I started to catch on to the game. Like, you know how they say play the game. That's when I started to catch on. That's when that's when things started to make sense. Things started to get easier. And I started to figure out like, oh, they against me. Hold on. Wait, this is how I gotta play. But so yeah, my first deployment.
What made you realize that?
So when I was on that first deployment, I want to say like they were talking about some program or something, and I kept asking people like, give me information, and somebody was like, Green, you a senior airman, like go find it. Like, go find the resources yourself. Like, people not about to do this for you. And then I had some really good staff sergeants out there that put me on game and was like, girl, don't nobody care about you. Like, this is on purpose. Like this is stuff is happening to you on purpose, and you're doing what they want you to do. Like you're giving them the reactions that they want you to have. So
Yeah.
I just had people like really put me on game. Other black people that had been through stuff. So that deployment was a big eye opener. I would say another one of my best times was making staff sergeant, because so many people try to play on me in Charleston. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it?
Talk about it.
So I was happy that I made staff sergeant, not because, I made staff sergeant and I'm about to get money, but because y'all really, like, so many people had played on me from 2014 to 2018, and I had to show them, like, come on. Because I had got a referral EPR and everything.
Green.
Yeah. Very sergeant, big sergeant.
Big sergeant. So I'd say that was the highlights.
Yeah.
You put on that rank, especially staff sergeant, it's like, all right, I got a little weight now.
I got a little weight around this mug. I mean, I think,
bro.
I remember that. I wasn't even in Charleston when they did the announcement. I don't know why. I don't know how I timed it. I was home. I was at the crib when they did the little announcement for who made staff and who didn't. And I think my coworker just sent a picture with the certificate on it. And I zoomed in and I was like, I wrote back. I was like, hey man, congrats, bro. And then he's like, you dumbass. Right. And so I got zoomed in and like, actually it was my certificate. I wasn't there. And I was like, oh shit. I think I cried because I think making staff is a big deal as far as all the little things that lead up to that moment. And it is a huge accomplishment.
You can get some people up off your back a little bit. They hold a little respect with it. Like,
do you hear me?
Ain't nobody gonna try you for real. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And then that game within the game, that's crucial too. When you finally figure that out, and it does finally start to slow down, and you start being able to prioritize. Okay, these are things that really needs to be done. This shit ain't this, and this is that, and the hardest part is like you can't. I think the hardest part is finding that balance with like trying to teach an airman that, because you learn it through time and experience and going through this and going through that and going through this, and then like the airman comes like, man,
they don't want to hear it,
man, but they don't want to hear it. Like they not.
That was me too. And it was so frustrating, but it was like, you know what?
You got to earn your stripes. You'll see, just like everybody else. Man, come here, man. Come here. You can't do that. And it's like, I can't. You know what?
That's part of the reason why I'm ready to go back to Graytail anyway, because we don't have no airmen. I can't mold nobody. Like, even though some of the stuff they was doing was dumb, like they would do dumb shit, but it was still very fun. Trying to mold people and teach them, and then just meeting new people, right? Like I work with all NCOs, like hard chargers. You know what I mean? I thought I was a hard charger. These dudes on a whole nother level. I had to step my game up.
Oh man.
So I don't know. I miss the airmen. I miss.
So I'm always happy when we have interns because it gives you a chance to kind of scratch that itch. It's always cool being around the young people, trying to show them different things. Yeah. The culmination of all these experiences, good and bad, leads everybody to have to make a choice, and that's whether to stay in or to get out. And I don't blame you. I applaud you for. I don't even want to say stand as long as you did and dealing with what you did, because it's an odd thing to even. It doesn't feel right to even celebrate that, but I do. We only knew you for what you brought every day, which is a beautiful spirit, and so much fun and so much humor. So, for all that your presence has meant to so many people, I'm glad that you stuck it out for as long as you did, because it helped us have so many great memories. But then still, you got to make a choice for you. When you finally sat down and was like, okay, it's time I got to do something else. What was that? What was that process like?
So I'm not going to get in, or should I? Because, I mean, I wouldn't even say I sat down and had that process. I mean, kind of, sort of. I'm had it up in my mind, but I didn't put that process into play by choice.
Wait, because you signed a 6-year and then another 4-year?
Yeah. And I got out at 8.5.
So she did a 6 and a
How you
4.
do
I
that?
got there at 6 and 2 extensions.
Okay.
You know what happened.
Who know what happened? What happened?
Okay.
I just want to say, let me say this first. I didn't, when I asked,
numbers ain't
the
adding
reality is every
I
contract,
still had to come to that decision.
You still got to come to that decision at some point, because every contract that comes and goes is an opportunity. I always tell everybody was going to school, getting certificates.
So I can answer that question without getting into that. We're gonna talk offline about that. Okay.
It comes with.
So,
just go ahead and tell us whatever the story is. I want to know.
I just want to circle back to the top. Accountability. This is my fault.
This is why in the beginning I say accountability is a good word for today. So even though I say the decision was made for me, if I want to have accountability, I can really say I made that decision for myself, because if I hadn't, I would have never been doing what I was doing, right? I'm a dumbass. I was smoking weed.
You smoking weed.
I was smoking weed, and they got me.
And they got you.
They got my butt.
So that's why the numbers ain't adding up.
That's why the number is not numbering.
Okay. I mean, listen, people make mistakes.
But
and maybe it wasn't a mistake.
Was it a mistake? Yes. But was it a blessing in disguise? Yes. Because I already knew that military shit wasn't for me no more. And at that
That's
point,
what's important.
At the point, that's what's important.
That's what's important.
And at the point that everything was happening, like, I felt like an itch in my skin. Like, I said, I can't do this no more. And I had so much other life stuff going on that, like, the military just seemed, it didn't align. Like, it just, no way around it. Like, it just wasn't aligning with what I was trying to do, with my energy. Like, it just wasn't there. So that happened, and I just wasn't agreeing.
This nigga here.
It's cool.
You got to be stopped, bro.
But it's cool because my morals wasn't lining up with the military no more. I was a staff sergeant and I was back office. So now I was really starting to see stuff. I was seeing how stuff worked. I was seeing how people really were. And I was
politics.
I was like, I can't be around this for real. I was like, I can't be sane and come to this job every day and just act like, nothing happening behind the scenes. I was like, I can't. And like slowly but surely, like I just mentally I couldn't take it, and it all led me to that point. But
even let's be honest, it's hard.
It was
depending on what you're doing and how that path goes. Being in the military can be hard. And
what else made that shit hard? Because it was during COVID. COVID had just happened. It was my second deployment coming from Kuwait, and that was an absolutely wretched experience. Wretched, terrible experience. The divorce situation.
Well, that's something we all have in common.
That made 2021 just a real spicy year for me. So,
Coop, how are you?
The
31.
It's a
beginning
serious
of
question.
the end. The beginning of my end.
You
Yeah.
better not say damn either. 31.
How old? 31. I really do want to say damn, but I'm not gonna say it. Laisha, how old are you?
I can see it. I can see it on your face.
28.
28. Obviously, you're not supposed to ask a woman her age, but there's a point to this. I'm
There's
29 myself. Hey, look. Sometimes this shit be a blur. I don't really, I'll be having to do the math. I don't know how old I am anymore. So I'm just out here existing. Goddamn shit. I have to
For
really
real.
think
I'll be
about
like,
it.
I'm 32. I'll be like, I'm 32. Like,
I be saying 27. 27.
Man,
I'll be going up. Like, no, this is not good. This is not
yeah.
good.
At all of our young ages, we've all been divorced. And I think for people who aren't in the military, it's probably it's funny or crazy. At least that's what
We
I've
all got
gotten.
married at the same time too, around the same time. All three of us. Within months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon in our industry for people to get married. I was gonna ask both of y'all, especially now being out and you meet people and you date and you ask the question and or even you say that you have been married and everybody's jaw drops beneath the ground because it's unfathomable for them that they would have given up or stopped doing anything that they've been doing and enjoying up until that point, unless they really found something that they believed in, which they also aren't in a rush to find. But in our world, I mean, you got people getting married in basic training. You got people. I know somebody got married in MEP, so it's like it is the pressure. Why do you think people get married?
I have
In the military and then so early, you know.
I got a great theory. I think, a lot of people rush to get married, and I don't think they even do it like intentionally. But, a lot of us, we leave home at 17, 18. Some people thousands of miles away from home. They by themselves. They meet somebody, they think they love them again. 17, 18. We don't have that many romantic experiences to know like this not something sustainable. But we happy, we got a companion, we not lonely, because a lot of us be lonely. Let's hold on to that. How we gonna hold on to that? We're gonna get married because who knows where we're gonna be in the next 2-3 years. And I need them to come with me.
Yeah.
At least you think.
At least you think. Don't do it, y'all. And if they're a civilian, don't do it.
Wait. Why specifically if they're a civilian?
Because you ain't even gotta marry civilians for them to come with you. They just gotta come. Like
I always say,
that's true.
I always say, you don't have enough experience until you're at least 25 or older. And you young, you got plenty of time.
Yeah.
You mature, I don't feel like you mature until you're at least 25 or older.
25
that's
is
not
young.
I mean, 25 is young too. Really, the number for me is like 27 or older, because there's so much maturity yet to gain. You know what I mean? There's so much you have to learn about yourself through experiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't think anybody should be truly committed and thinking about settling down until they're at least 27.
But then it's also that's all that's around you in the military.
That's true.
That's all you see is you at A1C, and you see your senior airman friend got a wife and at least one child, or at least a wife, and they living in a house, and they having their parties, and they chilling, and they make it look like, they make it look like it's cool, like it's okay, like,
I was gonna say, I think like, listening to Laisha talk about her hardships, and I can't, obviously with respect to it, I can't say that any of mine were remotely close to that, but there were elements of the military that just weren't fun, right? Like we did the best that we could. I think we did as a collective whole, as a unit, when I think about all the people that we met at that time, we did the best that we could, not only to just like have fun and enjoy each other, but like by the time we got to hooping and doing our little house party, I feel like I was home anyway, right? Like we did the best that we could to kind of everything about it was so familiar. Like it was got to the point where it felt like like we was on a cast because everybody had an archetype or a character that fit like a life that you knew. You dig what I'm saying? Like Frank, I know a Frank from back home. I knew a Hampton from back home. Like it was super cool. And so obviously you get older in it, you get rank, you get responsibility. That type of shit stops happening. And then to Laisha's point, like you see everybody who is married or has a child, has a house because of it, because that used to be the quickest way to get out the dorms. Otherwise, you got to wait until you hit the right rank, right amount of time on station. And so that image as a form of, I would even say, escapism, that's what happiness looks like outside of what your 9 to 5 and the deployments and the TDYs and just the routine of this existence. When I get out of this, why wouldn't I put myself in a position to have this? Because I'm not flying home that often. And most of your friends from the crib not traveling to where you at that often. And what else do you do to kind of artificially give yourself what it is that we all need, which is companionship, which is
and it's through the opposite
community.
sex, and it's somebody who is likely going through what you're going through. You know, if you dating meal to meal, which most of us have, you got not only a companion but somebody that you feel like at least knows something you're going through, can relate a little bit, and that felt good, you know.
Yeah, you didn't feel as alone anymore,
right?
You know. And I want to double back to like maturity, all of that stuff. Committed relationship when you're 27. That sound good, but I was in a committed relationship at 22. You know what I mean? And I don't regret anything from what happened. I learned so much from it. You know, and then sometimes that might be what it takes for you to truly understand what it is that you really want, right? It's a lot of growth in there for sure. It's a lot of learning, not only about your partner, about relationships. It's really more about yourself, to be honest. And I said, I don't regret anything because it taught me so much about me. You know, unfortunately, we got a divorce, but I feel like we learned so much from it that we could both leave away from it cordially and, you know, mutually and still be in a position where we feel like we don't regret anything. So, I mean, to each his own. Everybody got their own walk of life, own experiences. I feel like I'm very lucky with how mine end up turning out. You know, some people don't get that same luxury.
Yeah.
What was the turning point for you, Laisha? What I think, because you pretty much expressed the why, and then what turns into the need as far as why people do it and why they hold on to it for so long. Like I worked for people who was married but absolutely hated their spouse, so much so that they stayed at work late and thought it was normal for everybody else to do it too. I'm like, straight up, you know, you get the argument, be like, nah, if you don't like your wife, that's your problem. I'm going home.
Right.
I'm not staying here with you, bro. I'm like, this is crazy. You dig what I'm saying? I'm walking out. Yeah, I'm walking out right now. Like, it's we 2 hours past. Talking about you still doing paperwork. No, fuck that.
No.
I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? And so, and these people never get out of that situation. They don't stop till it turns into they don't stop till they get arrested. Sometimes they're just gonna stay in there until bottles start hitting the wall. True story. So my point is, what was the turning point for you where you're like, okay, you know what, I want to pursue something differently? I would say romantically, but even just a part of it that's you and just respecting you and understanding what you need. What led you to want to pursue something different?
I was going, like I said, I was going through so much at that time, like professionally, personally. I was going through so much that I felt like I'm just ready to do what makes me happy. I'm ready to be happy.
Yeah.
And that meant I had to change, like I had to change my life. I mean, I can't, because it's not making me happy. Like the military, the military not making me happy. This weird nigga Chris not making me happy.
Reggie.
He hated us.
Oh,
Yeah.
Reggie hated y'all.
Yeah.
But
And we don't even know why.
because y'all didn't add
I
him
know
to
he
the
didn't
group.
like being called Reggie.
Is that what it was for real? The group chat?
That's what it was.
Everybody want to be in that goddamn group chat. It's fucking crazy. It's not the first time I
Y'all
heard this.
didn't add him to the group chat. Ooh, and I'm telling y'all, because where we had went, I had just cut my hair. We had went to the Korean barbecue spot.
Yeah, it was all the 6 of us, right?
That was when Brandy had came down.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And we went to that silent party.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I remember that.
That was a good night. Yeah.
It was a good night. I thought we had a great time.
For sure.
We had a great time.
When we was all texting and stuff, you know, I was getting our plans and stuff together. He was like, "Well, why I can't be in the group chat?" I said, "You can't be in this group chat. Like, you're not right." I was like,
You're not in the
"That's
group.
not how this works." That's what I said. I said, like, you're just not a part of the group. Like, no hard feelings. You know, not trying to be mean or nothing, but you just not in the group. And he was so pissy at that restaurant that day. And then he really didn't like y'all when, who was it? Woodruff bought a round of shots, and he missed the round of shots, and he thought y'all left him out on purpose.
Oh, that's
Halloween, crazy. When we went out at I forget where we went.
Damn. Dog. I actually like Reggie, bro. Wasn't nothing wrong with bro. What's his name?
He was
Chris.
so toe up about he was so toe up about that shot.
Damn, he thought that was personal.
Damn, dog. I don't even remember that.
I remember.
Yeah, because y'all
remember when he
y'all
didn't get
was
a shot?
already.
I didn't remember
drunk.
that he didn't get a shot, but we was already there. I remember when he came.
Deco.
It was. I mean, it wasn't intentional. I'm sure it probably was just a matter of counting off whoever was there. Niggas was waiting and
y'all was
for a minute.
Y'all was already super drunk. Like, y'all was already drunk by the time we had got there. Y'all was already.
Niggas was like a shot or two away from getting kicked out that joint. I'm sure.
Yes.
Look, I'm sure I got
right at it.
Damn, Chris, bro. If you listening, we sorry, bro. We didn't know that was going on, bro.
Well, I'm not gonna say that, okay, brother. You could have just said something. Niggas would have got
he
you.
He could have said
something. You dig what I'm saying? Like we was an
definitely
outspoken group of men. Could have just.
I don't know
something.
if I was gonna buy it though, because I was broke. I ain't have no money.
Well, me and Gotti and Q used to. We used to buy rounds.
Nah, I wasn't doing it, bro. This was past dorm days, actually. Never mind.
It was.
This was past dorm days.
Because dorm days, I ain't had nothing.
No, dorm days was a little rough. Niggas were sharing 4-4s.
Dorm days.
Locos. 4 locos. Oh yeah, you remember that night?
No, I'm talking about that one. That night's not getting brought up.
Because if we talk about it, we will be incriminating people.
Yes, that night.
We moving on.
Yeah. You felt like you needed to do something different in your life. Coop, what led you to be like, I want to pursue something different romantically? Was there a singular moment? Was it a compilation of moments? Obviously, it takes a whole lot of things to arrive to that.
I don't think we knew how to communicate effectively. I don't think we knew how to communicate romantically. I don't think I don't think I knew how to communicate emotionally. And I still don't know how to do it that well, honestly.
You're not the best. Our love is different, but you're not the best.
And I can admit that. And I can apologize. I can apologize that and acknowledge that, And I think over time it just took a toll on us. And things happen that we couldn't really come back from. And we talk about it. And then we decide to go ahead and split. But like I said, I don't regret anything other than how things ended, I feel like I also could have done things a little bit better. Even if we still splitting and going separate ways, I could have done things during that transition a little bit better, and I'm sorry for that. I do regret that part of it, but I think in a nutshell, that's
Expand
pretty
on
much.
that. How did y'all end that you feel, things could have been better?
I think I could have been there a little bit more for her during the transition away. I don't feel like I did what I was supposed to do during that time. And it was new territory, right? I had never been in a relationship that long. I had never split from a relationship that long. You know what I mean? So like, I really didn't know what I was doing. But hindsight 2020, looking back, I feel like there were moments where I should have 100% been there. I should have 100% for whatever she needed on the way out. Like it didn't matter. Like I should have been there.
Yeah.
And I regret that. But that's, I think, in a nutshell, why we end up splitting is because we didn't know how to communicate effectively.
Yeah.
And we was young, and we didn't really know what we was doing for real. We hadn't completely matured. We hadn't figured out who it was that we were as individuals. So all in all, we split. It was unfortunate, but it's not too much about that whole situation that I regret because it was great when it was great.
Yeah, for sure. I think probably somewhere for me, probably in the middle of both of y'all. I knew I told Coop on the first episode, like I got to a point, it was times like when we was down in Pensacola and I'm like teaching and shit, I'd be in the garage, like, I'm like, I'm living somebody else's life. I'm miserable. Like, this ain't for me. Like, we in a neighborhood full of military people and everybody's like on some, you watch the movies where like the house is the same and the car is the same and everybody's in the driveway. Bye, honey. And like, I'm looking around like, no, this shit is really some ass. Like, I'm not happy. like, I'm not, but I should be, right? Like, there's dogs in here. We got cars and
we got money.
There's money, right?
Baby, yeah, everything.
No, I hate all of this shit. I don't like any of
the
this.
movies.
Like,
movies lied to us.
Right. And so
crazy.
And the things that I'm attached to that I find interesting and the people I look up to and the things that motivate me, I'm like, dog, it's got to be a way to get out there. That's how it felt. Like, it's got to be a way to get over there. And not even from like a sense of jealousy or a lack of contentment or anything like that. It's just like, I don't like this. Even if it's hard, I want to struggle over there. I do not want to struggle here. I don't want to fight for my existence, my identity, for my relationship. I don't want to have to struggle to travel because we always live in these shit locations. Like, I do not want to look at all of these things that you can actually plan to not have to go through. You can build a whole life where you don't have to actually go through many of these things based on your decision. I want the things that's hard about life to come unexpectedly, not the things that I'm just continuing to attach myself to that I don't actually have to do. I don't have to be here. There's so many people doing so many different things. And so to Laisha's point, like, yeah, I personally can't do this anymore. And obviously it takes two. So now we can't both drive the boat. We can't both drive the boat because we're going in two different directions. I cannot go where you're going. I've been there already. I'm there now. And to come out here, it is different. Because everybody out here who's living a life adjacent to the comforts that we know in the military, they working for that shit. They working for it. And so we can't both drive. So you got that part of it. And then you got the stuff that like what Coop was touching on, the relationship aspect of it, where it's like, okay, yeah, my communication style ain't for most. And I have to work on that every second of every day. I get irritated easily. And I struggle with holding my tongue a lot. Just in general, it's hard for me to separate the things that enter my mind from what ends up coming out my mouth, because it's all true, it's all genuine, and I don't really care how anybody feels about it. Unfortunately, when you talking about in a relationship, you close proximity to somebody, that's unfair and cruel and something that has to be addressed. Now, talking to like other people, niggas and leadership and all that type of stuff, different. Obviously, the person that you care about the most shouldn't have to go through that. So that's
Right.
like just a failure of my own, whatever we were talking about earlier with Draymond. Like, I just have to work on it every day. Like I'll be having to write shit down. I'll be having to take deep breaths, count to 10. I do a whole lot of stuff now that I didn't do before, just to like
It ain't
separate
easy.
myself from all the things that I feel, or all the things that I see, because I don't let nothing go, and I don't let nothing pass me either. Everything getting called out. So I suck. I think I over communicated, and not in the best way, not that's easy to be received. And then it just takes a lot to make it go. It takes a lot to make it go every day. It takes a lot to one, to be with somebody is a choice, because you don't have to do that. And the only thing I know now that I obviously didn't know then, and what I look for, like, I'm glad I have it, but then what I would always look for is like, can you find your honeymoon again? Because it shouldn't ever leave.
It shouldn't, but
And it can go away, like it can die down, and you can have seasons where things aren't great. But for me, I'm like, as you go through things, do you ever, like, how often can you and this person find whatever brought y'all to each other again? And does it feel the same? And like, what is the practice to make that possible? Because everything's gonna come and knock you one way or the other. It's almost like finding your center again. And I know we never found ours. It never, after certain things happened, there was no grounding to that effect, which I value now.
It takes a lot.
Yeah,
You said relationships are wanting to be with somebody is a choice.
it is.
Absolutely. Because
Every
you
day.
managing yourself, and we talk about this all the time. You manage yourself and everything else that you got going on. To add somebody else to that picture and manage that as well, it's like an entirely different ball game, bro. And it's a job, and it's a job you got to be good at. You got to work at, especially if you want to keep it.
Yes, if you want it to grow, and if you want it to mature, because it's its own thing. Like, it's you, and then there's her, or there's her, and then there's him, or her and her, and him, and
but you
all
know what I
combinations
think?
are welcome.
What I think a lot of us realize, especially as military marriage people, I think we realize it's just not what it's cracked up to be. Like, we realize that these other people probably not happy either. Like, the people that we was looking at, thinking about being married, like looking at them in their house and everything like that with their wife or their husband, we realize, I'm like, nah, this is really not all that. And I think, we got to be honest about it, and admit that at some point we didn't want it no more. That's it.
That's true, for sure.
That the
That's
spark
true.
didn't come back because we just didn't want the spark to come back.
Yeah, I can see that, because you need it. You need it, and carefully though, right? Like, we're not talking about, like, I ain't talking about like the roller coaster of it, like I ain't talking about like it's highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows. Like, I ain't talking about that. That's trash. But like, shit's going to happen, or y'all both work. Like, for obviously, Coop could touch on it if he wants to. I'll say it, but like, they both work demanding ass schedules, him and Chelsea, and so it could be a month where shit just not right. Not because nothing is wrong, because everybody's busy and this is that and this is that. And so then, like, after that, because it's guaranteed, can you find your honeymoon again? And is it enough to sustain you until the next time? And I think that, to me, has been just the one thing that stood out the most as far as genuine compatibility and like genuine friendship.
That's what it comes down to. Are we even friends? Because sometimes we're not even friends with people that we be in relationships with. We're not friends with them. Like, we have nothing. It's nothing else outside the relationship that we have. So we
Right.
really don't like them as a
Yeah.
friend. You know,
Yeah.
It's definitely part of it.
Yeah. A huge part of
because
it.
at the end of the day, you should at least be able to be friends. Like if you can't even be friends,
Yeah. What is it, right?
yeah.
What
And
is
we
it?
You should be
wasn't.
friends first.
Nobody was friends.
Especially as you get to grow and find your own likes and dislikes and figure out those rhythms of existence and like, do they actually line up? Like, I love to do this shit. Do you love to do this shit? I love to do this shit. You don't like to do it as much, but can you stand to do this shit because it makes me happy?
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of those things. And so, but again, that's hindsight plus new experiences that allows you to really be able to weigh both of those realities. What was the aftermath like? Like for me, mine was hard, right? I got a kid. So it wasn't hard from a romantic sense, but logistically, I got Hendrix is here. So that part is always present and something to overcome. The divorce was clean and all that other shit worked out fine. No child support, no weird shit like that. But Hendrix is still here. So the logistics supporting his existence is something to navigate. Y'all didn't have kids and y'all splitting, but it doesn't mean that the aftermath of it wasn't any less difficult or challenging.
I mean, the aftermath for me was, it wasn't even like any hurt or pain or anything like that, because we had like, I had went on my deployment and it had been 7.5 months. I hadn't seen this dude. So, you know, it wasn't like no emotional stuff, but it was like, dang, you really just, it was more of how he treated me in those final moments. It was like, you didn't have to do me like that.
Yeah.
So that was just like, that was something that weighed on my mind heavy for a while. It was like, you just didn't even have to do me that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Like disbelief.
I think I was hurt. And I was going through it silently. You know, I'm not the one to really hold my emotions on my shoulder or on my sleeve. And I know I got my boys, my dogs that I can talk to whenever. But even then, I still don't do it. And I think part of it is because I don't know how, but another reason is because I've never done that before. And I never saw my dad do it. You know, I never see my dad show any kind of emotion about nothing. And maybe that got a part or plays a part in it, but I don't really know. But I was hurt, and you know, no part of it felt good. No part of it felt good for at least 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, nothing lasts forever. And, you know, I end up getting better. I met Chelsea, and things have been great. It's been almost 3 years. Me and Chelsea been together now, and that's kind of hard to fathom because it happened so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just looked up and was like, "Yo, it's been 3 years."
Crazy.
Like, oh shit! Like, and
Nuts.
then we had to like double back. Like, hold on, has it
For
been
real?
3 years?
Yeah.
Hold on, it was no, it's 2 years. No, it is 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's like one of them situations, and I think that's just a testament to how good things have been. I mean, obviously we got our ups and downs and shit. The schedule is crazy. We don't have a whole lot of time to spend with our current schedules, but I think within our plan and what we have to plan in store, like for the future, this time period is necessary. And it's only so we can save a bunch of money and, you know, eventually on the other end of it, when I PCS or we move somewhere else or I get out, that we got a nice little chunk of bread that we can sit on and make moves from there. But it's been extremely fun since then. But I will say that the split, that first initial moment, the first initial like 5-6 months was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For me, it was pride.
it was pride.
Like it is what it is. I'm a prideful person. So like I be wanting everything I do to work out, but it don't always work that way. So that was the hardest part. I think the failure of it all was just like, God damn. I don't know. I like the control thing. I hedge bets as far that's how I feel. Like as far as like how I work. Like if I get promoted, I'm humble and appreciative, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. Like in my head, this is a fixed bet. I come to work every day. I try to outwork the people and all to do all those things. So like I'm like, oh great. And then like one part of me is like, duh. Right. And so that is how I approach anything. And so when it didn't work, it was just like, damn, like, you think with all the knowledge that you have at the time that you did the best that you could. And you obviously you learned so much that you could have done better, but all the same, it's like, oh, I fucking failed. Mm-hmm. And I don't do that too often. So like I just sit with this shit. And so I was just
boy don't like to lose, dog. It's hilarious.
And you roll with it. But then like I said, you learn, and the biggest thing is friendship and fun and so many hurdles that you'll have to jump over and being able to do so, knowing that you can do it and y'all are doing it together. I mean, there's so many different things that you kind of, I don't know. And it's funny because Coop said, don't do it. I guess if you do it, just humble yourself to the reality of how much you have to learn and take that with you for your next experience, because it'll be richer. It'll be so much richer. Was it difficult? I would say like coming from having been married to dating people who hadn't been married, and you're bringing in so much lesson learned. Was that a gap? Because you're bringing in, so much about like the importance of communication. And
I would say no.
No?
Because it's still a new relationship,
True.
It's just like any other new relationship or not saying like marriage is any other relationship, but it is a relationship that ended. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it changed much.
I think it didn't change much. It just helped me realize that, and this is even for people who haven't been married, you can listen, or just anyone who's planning to get into a relationship with anybody. Like, you got to understand that you yourself as an individual, that's its own entity. When you go into a relationship with somebody, that's its own entity in itself. You feel me? So like you 21, 22, you've had all of them years to learn you. And you still got learning to do. But when you add that extra entity, like you come together with somebody, it becomes its own entity and you have to learn it, and y'all starting fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of growth and a lot of compromise and a lot of just learning each other all over. Like you starting fresh. And if you ain't got that mindset when you going into the relationship,
I think marriage like might make you more serious when it comes to like dating people and like your time being wasted, or like how you allocate your time on people. I feel like that's what marriage does. Like it makes you contemplate things more seriously. Like things aren't just because, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, what we doing?
Right. Because you've seen it. That's what I was saying. Because you've seen it. Like it's new. It's new and it's you from ground zero. You're underground zero. You got to build up to that point and then go from there. But it's just like there's a part of it that's like, hey, I've seen this. I felt this. I know this.
Yeah, and it helps you decide what you're not gonna do this time.
Right.
Yeah.
So and not to say you're gonna set ultimatums or anything, but it definitely helps you cut down on bullshit, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, even the stuff like not even necessarily what you're not gonna tolerate from somebody else, the stuff that you know that you did that you was wrong for doing.
Yeah, what you not gonna do.
What I'm not gonna do this time.
Straight up. Yeah. Straight up.
And that to me, it was huge. I learned so much afterwards about just me and what I didn't want to do the next time around.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't done. You know what I mean? So the growth is tremendous, honestly. I'm gonna pat myself on the back.
Everybody looking forward to getting married again?
Yeah.
I am. Oh, I got nothing to say. I got a marriage and 2 kids in me. 2 more kids in me for sure.
So I can start my life, you know.
Yeah, I'm not against getting married again.
So I can start my life. Yep.
I want to build it up to be, because the other part you said about like as an individual, that was the other thing that I found important that also made me like, even out of fairness and respect, I stay here, I'm miserable, I'm dragging this whole thing down to the ground every day. Because I don't have enough autonomy and existence for me that fuels me, that motivates me, that drives me. I don't have enough to come in here and be whole. And my half that turns into a quarter that quickly turned to 0 will sink this shit. And so when I look forward to being married again, I just want to build it up as literally 2 people who decide to do this. But if they did, their this was good, their this is better, right? And like you still keep a whole lot of this in order to make this go. And I think we were talking about the Cosby Show at one point. Like, yeah, that was dope. He's this and she's that, and they got all these kids and they've got this life that they enjoy. Yeah, I'm chasing that now. No, I don't want anybody to settle or sacrifice or leave. I mean, it's part of it, but leave so much of themselves on the table that there's nothing valuable there.
I just feel so much more prepared.
Yeah.
I took this test already. Yeah.
I took this test. Yeah.
Like
right.
that was practice. You know what they say? The first one is practice.
Yeah. And I can't wait to like
ready for the next one.
Like the wedding and the baby shower and the maternity shoot. And like I ain't do none of that. So I can't wait to do it all.
You didn't do none of that. Oh, I know you didn't do the wedding and stuff, but I thought y'all did.
Nothing.
Did you do it?
No.
I think that's another thing too. Like, even in the military, like people don't like, especially in the military, people just be going to the courthouse. Like,
bro, I didn't even get proposed to.
Oh wow!
How did that happen?
Niggas was standing on the steps and was like, "You want to do it? You want to do it? Let's go Tuesday."
And they said, "Shit, we can go down there right now."
Right. It was real. Like you shouldn't do it. I knew I wasn't supposed to do it.
Yeah.
So, Alasha, what you doing now? What's new? Because you're not in the military no more. What are you doing?
I'm not in the military.
How long has it been?
2 years.
Whoa.
On April 8th made 2 years.
Yeah.
Yes. And, I've been really busy since I got out. I have not, I literally got out and hit the ground running. I say for the first 4 or 6 months, I was kind of down on my luck. But after that, I've been on my shit. I'm in nursing school.
Okay.
That's why I was talking about the graduation in December. So I'll be graduating nursing school in December.
Oh my God. We gotta be there.
Oh, no doubt.
Yes.
Come
so
on.
I just been doing that, working in a hospital, working psych behavioral health, which I love, mental health, the military, I think the military definitely turned me on to how important mental health is and how big of a need it is, especially in our community. But that's what I've been doing so far, just working and going to school.
No, that's incredible. Military definitely made me appreciate what a real 9 to 5 is like, as far as enjoying it, right? Because you go to work every single day. So actually enjoying that or enjoying the people you work with and then coming home and enjoying that. And like, so, like I said, it's not that pendulum swinging so aggressively every time you do something. What's something that, as a part of your nursing school and just the people that you're around, like what's something that you feel like you took for granted from one professional setting to the next?
What did I take for granted? That's hard to say, y'all. Ooh.
I'll give you a freebie. Technology. I took for granted what it was like to go to work, or like I now go to work and the computers work and the software is like this and everything is like fluid.
Oh, ooh. You did just give me free. Okay. So I've been doing my clinicals at the VA, at the VA, the Biloxi VA, and they use all government systems. And I'll be sitting there like on the computer, and I'll be like, God damn, these government systems, like
trash.
I'm like,
Yeah,
this y'all
slow.
charting system? Like, this what y'all use? Like, this not what we use back at the hospital. Like,
Technology.
Technology.
It's military grade. Nah, it's the lowest bidder.
Yeah.
The lowest bidder.
Ass. Yeah.
Don't believe them infomercials, them commercials. They selling you bullshit. I'm telling you.
Yeah. That was the biggest thing that stood out to me right away. They always ask me, like, what could be better? I'm like, y'all don't know where I come from. Like, everything here is fine. It's fine. I don't think y'all should fix a single thing. Okay. I could tell y'all about some shit that don't work. This is not what doesn't work. Communication is better. It's faster. It's streamlined. Files, resource management. I mean, HR, the fluidity of it all. IT, being able to reach out, like, hey, bro, this ain't working. Swapped it out. It's done. Like,
they get it done.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so much fun. Being productive it doesn't take like, I remember even putting in grades in text. Well, it took 30 minutes, 40 minutes to put in grade. I had to stay late 40 minutes to an hour just to do that. I can do stuff like that now in 5-10 minutes I'm out. And so stuff like that is what I took for granted. And I was even telling April when she was applying for a job, I'm like, any job, if I think about going to any job, that's one of the questions I'm asking. What y'all computers look like? Y'all software, what's y'all software infrastructure? Like, what do y'all use every day to store files? Because I ain't going back to no clunky shit. But we're glad that you are in nursing school. Glad it'll be over in December. Are you staying in the area you're living in now, or once you get across that stage, you're also gonna go somewhere else?
Well, I already have a job lined up at the hospital that I work at now.
Okay. Let's go.
So for at least like the next year, I'll be staying here and working. And then after that, honestly, I want to start working on my bachelor's. Once I graduate, I want to go back, work on my bachelor's, and then hopefully by 2026 like be started on my master's. So I don't know, at least for the next year I'll be here working, and then I guess my education might take me elsewhere.
That's not too bad. What made you want to pursue nursing school? You got the personality for it, obviously, wanting to help people and everything that comes with that.
Wanting to help people, and then like when I was younger, like my mom, she was a CNA, and at that time, like I didn't know the difference between a CNA and a nurse, so I just thought she wore scrubs. She was a nurse, but I found out that she was a CNA, but she wanted to be a nurse. She never got the chance to. So I just kind of grew up wanting to like fulfill that for her and for me, and then of course wanting to help people and stuff like that. And then this shit just fun. It's just fun.
Is it
and
fun?
It's interest is fun.
What's fun about it?
Like seeing so many different things that the body can do. Like seeing so many different things the body can do and different reasons why it's doing it. And just the complexities of the body. It's just interesting. It's a new thing every day, but then you also get to help people and make a difference. I think that's the part about it that I really like, being able to like see my patient come in day one and they at their worst, they unstable, and
Yeah.
I can see the progression of them getting better. And then at the end of it, them saying, you really helped me or whatever. Like that's that mean everything.
I got a coworker now that's in my unit who's also in nursing school,
Mm-hmm.
and he's excited about it as well. He comes to work every day, and like anytime anybody's like or whatever, like they're talking about something,
He's
he'll
trying to
point at
diagnose.
it. You feel me? Like he'll be trying to diagnose them, and he'll be talking about all the different terminologies, what this
Yeah.
is. Like I'm like, bro, all right, but he's excited. So we let him live, and it's cool to see him. That's what I was gonna say. I'm sorry for cutting you off, bro. Go ahead.
No, you good. That was good. I'm glad that you know somebody who's also on this journey. It's
That's a
good.
nursing
It's
school
good.
thing. I think we all do
Yeah.
that. We're just excited because we are learning a lot, and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's exciting.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, do you
that.
feel like there's a part of you that gets to be what you needed for other people while you're doing this every single day?
Yes, yes. Because I feel like I just needed somebody to care. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like these people just, a lot of them just need somebody to care, especially like working in mental health, behavioral health.
Mm-hmm.
They a lot of times just need somebody to care. And if I can be the person that's caring for 12 hours, that's enough for me. Like
Yeah.
for them to know that somebody cares about them.
Yeah. And they don't have
So,
to feel as alone, especially times that you felt like you were alone.
mm-hmm.
Sounds like you're doing God's work then.
It feels good. Like it's a job, so people get
Oh, of
tired.
course. Of
Sometimes you
course.
don't want to go, but I can't say like, oh, I don't like this job. Like I don't want to go to this job. Like I like what I do.
For
I love
sure.
what. Yeah.
That's good. That's
That's
good.
good. I think that's a good point to transition out of, because we've been through it all.
Yeah.
We got a new
Yeah,
segment that we do before we let people get out of here, though.
we
I don't
do.
know what we're gonna call it yet. Right now, it's just Coops this or that, but we might find something more clever
Yeah, I don't really like that
as
name.
time goes on. Huh?
We had to come up with something else for sure. I don't really, listen, it's something we try and do. It's like a question and answer type thing, right?
Okay.
Um, the last episode was the first time we had ever done it. So what we're gonna do is present it to you as well. And it's kind of
Okay.
catered and tailored to you or the
Mm-hmm.
individual.
Okay.
But all you gotta do is pick whatever the slide is, the different slides, different meanings, different whatever, different
Okay.
tasks. You just pick something and then go for it. If you want to talk about it, feel free.
Okay.
Okay, so you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. All right. So in order, you got to put them in order: Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, Cartoon Network.
Okay. Disney Channel, 100%.
Dis-
Cartoon Network, then Nickelodeon.
Damn,
Then
that's crazy.
Nickelodeon.
Disney
Crazy.
gotta go first. And
What's
like
what's
that's
your
the only order that makes sense.
Okay? So if that's the absolute. What's the best? Like, what shows was you watching on Disney Channel?
That's So Raven, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, fucking Lizzie McGuire. Like
Drake and Josh. You know what?
That wasn't on Disney,
that
nigga.
was on Nickelodeon.
That
That
was
was
on
on
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah. But
My
I
bad.
was a Disney Channel. Like I was crazy about Raven Simone. So like Cheetah Girls, like Lizzie McGuire movie, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Henry, what you doing?
Trying to figure out what other shows were on Nickelodeon, because I would put Nickelodeon first. So I was looking up. You got Cat Dog, Rocket Power, Drake and Josh.
Right. If you zoom in, can you zoom in?
Yeah, you can't put Nickelodeon first. I mean, they had some good shows, but Cartoon Network,
So
Bro, it's
Cartoon
really
Network
hard.
didn't have.
Dog, Ed, and Eddie, Billy and Mandy, Dexter. Like, what are you
It's
talking
really
about?
hard.
See, I felt like
The
Disney
Powerpuff
had
Girls.
the better live action joints. to me, when you talk about Lizzie McGuire, you talk about Sweet Life Zack and Cody, you talk about That's So Raven, right? And then the movies that went along with all of those. Obviously, Cartoon Network specialized in cartoons. They didn't really have a live action element to their offering. And so, like, I picked Nickelodeon because they really had both.
Both. They
You know
had
what I'm
bangers
saying?
too.
Like, they had
Jimmy
some
Neutron.
bangers of some cartoons that would have made
Yes,
it
they
on
did,
Cartoon
bro.
Network. And then you talk about Drake and Josh and iCarly, that shit that would have,
Heaters.
on some welterweight shit, would have held his own on Disney
Yeah,
Channel. So, like, I feel like
for sure.
Nickelodeon, even though that documentary just dropped and aired a whole bunch of dirty shit that was going on behind the scenes, which is fucking terrible. I feel like Nickelodeon really, in a nostalgic sense,
and then Nick at
solid.
Night too.
Then you had Nick at Night.
Have all that. Y'all remember that show? All that.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
like the core of that tragedy that is aired. It's really bad. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but it'll make you uncomfortable. It's bad.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon is number one for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably go Disney after that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah. But I mean, we're talking about the best three. There's a lot of channels that never get watched. These are three of the most watched channels in TV history. It's no bad place here. You know, shout out to Cartoon Network, man. It's no issue.
Yeah. We're not mad at y'all. I had some haters too. It's really close, if we being honest. It's very
close. It's what did Kendrick Lamar call it in that song? The top three, the big three.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Well, stay tuned.
Well,
Let's see.
Fuck the big three, nigga. It's just big me. That song.
Hey. That's how you feel about Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see what the next one is.
Okay, let's go.
Is it gonna work? All right. Pick two of them.
To stay or to go?
Pick two of them to stay. You got VH1.
VA.
I mean, yeah. BET and MTV.
Yeah.
I would pick.
One of them gotta go. Dang, you stuck for real?
Yeah, I mean they all really had some strong offerings for
MTV,
real. At different times too.
That's the problem. Is all at different times, not at the same time period.
Yeah.
MTV went crazy when I was in 7th grade.
It did.
What was you watching?
I watched the early morning videos. That was what I used to watch.
Yeah.
That went crazy. But when I was younger, I really used to like to watch like Real Life.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Real World?
No, it was that show, Real World. Real Life, Real World.
That was a heater.
Banger.
Yeah, Next. Room Raiders, Parental Control. So MTV is a banger.
Parental Control. Damn.
Crazy. Silent Library. On their head with it. I think MTV wins.
For Silent Library, MTV stays.
Yeah, like
I ain't gonna lie,
in the same
MTV
way Nickelodeon went. Yeah.
Damn, yo. So it's between BET and VH1.
In VH1, I feel like VH1 played a big role in my life because that's when I got introduced to Love and Hip Hop.
Oh my God.
With the very first one with Jim Jones and his girlfriend. So VH1 got to stay. I learned a lot.
Damn.
BET
is out.
BET been playing the same movie since we was like 5.
Yeah, but you don't remember. You don't remember 106 in Park? That was like when I got off the school bus. I was watching the hell out of that,
especially on Fridays.
I didn't really watch 106 in Park.
I had to see the top 10s. What about BET Uncut After Dark? Come on, man.
That was that shit.
Man, what? I had no business watching it.
I used to put TV on low. Oh my God.
I'd be looking over my shoulder like.
I don't know.
This one was harder than I anticipated, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
It really was. Like MTV stood out, but I mean,
highly above both of those. But
Yeah,
Damn,
for
Love and
sure.
Hip
I'm
Hop,
Because
so
who
yeah,
had Pimp My Ride? That was MTV too, right?
MTV.
bro. Flavor
Oh,
And then the
Flav,
crib joint, that was MTV.
Flavor
MTV.
of Love.
Yeah,
MTV.
they was throwing haymakers back then.
Yeah.
No, that was VH1. I
That was
thought Flavor
VH1.
of Love.
Yeah. So that's why we
Flavor
got
of Love was, but the
VH1,
Pimp My
Yeah,
Ride and the cribs,
that's
that
Charm
was
MTV.
MTV.
School,
Yeah.
VH1 and MTV. BT can go.
Damn, that's crazy.
Okay, all right.
That's
That's
fair
what you
though.
going with? Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it is, bro. It
Yeah.
is. Damn,
Yeah,
But
BET.
come on. Come on.
All
Flavor
right,
Love.
moving on. Flavor
I
of
like
Love, bro.
He had two. But
it.
New York. I love New York.
Man,
Yeah, BET. We being honest, BET was really kind of slacking, bro. The only
They
show
just
I named
they
was
just had
106 and
Comedy
Park.
Central. I mean, comedy. What was it called? Comedy View. Comic
The
View.
Def
Comedy
Jam,
View,
Com-
definitely
Comedy View.
the
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't a
the
whole lot.
Rap
I think
Rhapsody, the
they had like
Basement,
showcases.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Rhapsody, the Basement.
and they played Apollo sometimes. I think reruns.
Rerun. Okay, all right. We move. We
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
move
we
on.
got it. We got it. Yeah.
All right, now
Ooh.
that's So I had to find these pictures. They might not look like how you would make them,
Is
but
that
on the
gumbo
left
and
is gumbo. On the left is gumbo. On the right is etouffee.
Etouffee can definitely go.
All right.
Damn,
Well, that was easy. I like etouffee though.
I do like
But
it.
gumbo, definitely not beating it though.
It's
Let's be
richer.
honest.
It's
It's
got more to
gumbo.
offer.
The
Yeah,
gumbo
for
got
Gumbo
more
is
stuff in it. Got crab, sausage.
Yeah, this one was too easy. This one was too easy.
Easy.
All right, let's move on. Okay, so the New Orleans Hornets. Do you remember that?
Yes, I actually when I was in like fourth grade, I got to go on the floor.
What?
Oh, that's dope.
Get
What
like
you was shooting layups?
no, I was just it was like
Courtside.
a little reading thing.
Oh, you had to read in front of everybody. Okay, tickets to both. They at the same time on the same night. Which one you going to? Oh, I didn't even say the Saints and the New Orleans Hornets, which is now the Pelicans.
So are we gonna say the Pelicans or the Hornets?
We're gonna.
Well, we
So I
pulled out the
figured you.
Hornets.
Yeah, out of
Yeah.
respect for the fact that you grew up in the area, so I
Yeah.
felt like there got to be some nostalgia attached to that. But
I like
in essence, if you, I guess culturally, because I asked this question to people who live in cities like Chicago that live in New York, where you got like the Giants and the Knicks, and then you got the Bulls and the Bears. So like,
Right.
personally, which one would you go to? And then like culturally, which one means more to the city? I have to imagine the Hornets and Katrina is a whole thing, but
I think I would prefer to go to the Hornets game because I've been to the Pelicans games and I like them. I think they're pretty fun, exciting.
okay.
I like
Okay.
watching the men play. And then
Alrighty.
Right.
it's
Right.
Okay.
and then we have the Saints, and then obviously the Saints is more of a cultural thing. I mean, it's the Saints,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Okay.
But I've never been to a football game, so
Wow. You know the
Oh,
Super
man,
Bowl's
you gotta
happening
go
down there
then.
this year.
I plan
Football
on
games is crazy.
The Super Bowl's in New Orleans this year.
Yeah.
Last year's Super Bowl tickets was $9,000 for the
going to
nosebleeds.
the Super Bowl
We just got to
game.
be in the area, brother.
Going to the Super Bowl game is
Watch that
probably
shit at
next to
home.
impossible. So
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
drive that way around that time of the year. I'm not going. And it's no. Let's see.
Okay, you got to delete one. I'm sorry if I'm screaming into this mic. Tyler Perry, Medea's Family Reunion, or Martin Lawrence, Big Mama's House?
I had to leave Big Mama's house.
Yeah. Tyler Perry Family Reunion can't go nowhere. The play or the movie.
Yeah. No.
That shit is a
Play go
staple, ain't it?
crazy.
Man, what?
Everybody.
I remember that. Listen, I had the bootleg
Everybody
disc.
had it on bootleg.
Everybody had on bootleg,
So,
bro. Straight from the
play
barbershop.
all of it.
Straight from the barbershop.
so yeah, we're gonna go ahead.
How you got that? Like,
It was amazing. It was amazing.
yeah.
Big Mama
Work of
House.
art.
Damn, Big Mama House good too though.
It was cold though. Great concept.
Medea's though. It's not Medea's family.
Nah.
And then the
Yeah,
movie was good too.
That shit changed the game for him, didn't it?
He went
Yeah.
He was
dumb.
gone. He went dumb after that.
Dumb. We watched Tyler Perry shit all the time. I don't know if it's an Atlanta thing, but she watched Tyler Perry. Her and her mama watched Tyler Perry. They watched that shit like
Didn't he
faithfully.
make Greenleaf? Didn't he do Greenleaf?
I think he had a producer credit, but that was Oprah's, yeah. But that run that he went on playing,
oh my god,
is some of the best shit that's ever happened in Hollywood. It's
he had
I couldn't believe
it was a chokehold on the on the whole community. I
couldn't believe watching them as an adult. Cause I thought they were funny then, but like as I've been watching them as an adult, it's like, no, this is incredible cinema. Like, and I don't know what he's doing now. Recently, he's just been awful, but back then,
yeah,
straight.
You ain't like the new movie with Kelly Rowland? I didn't
watch that.
I mean, I think it was too attractive people. I think people like watching that, but the movie itself was awful.
Yeah, it was.
And every movie he makes lately is awful. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Bro, what's up with the hairstyles, bro? Like, why
the only person who have a good wig is Medea.
Everybody else wig just be put on their head.
They say Kelly Rowland brought her own wigs.
She had to. I ain't going out like that.
Medea
should be laid.
Yeah, but the male version of Tyler Perry, his hairline be awful.
Awful.
Like, I know you didn't just come on here and play with us like this.
Oh God.
Maybe it's not in the budget. Maybe
might not be in the budget because he said he'd be shooting the movies in a week's time.
That's
he did.
So
he did.
That's my new details. We do not have time to focus on.
Bro, just come with your regular fade, bro. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah, that movie with who was that? Who's in Acrimony? Taraji P. Henson. They said they shot that shit in 4.5 days. The whole joint.
Working them. Oh my
God. The whole joint. Oh man, you foolish.
All right.
You foolish.
Team Kendrick or Team Drake?
I can't.
BBL Jizzy.
You won't?
I won't.
You won't pick?
I can't.
That's crazy.
Okay, tell us why you can't pick.
Okay, if I have to pick, Drake.
I think Henry is on that same boat. Where you go, Henry?
Not with the Drake fan. I'm Team Kendrick.
Okay.
Nigga, bam.
I really like Kendrick, but
for sure.
I watched Degrassi, so I feel like
what does that do to anything?
I never watched it.
I've been on Drake since he was, Aubrey Graham, since he was
Drake.
So you ain't see Kendrick play the crackhead in Power?
No.
I forgot.
That's the problem. Okay, you talking about Degrassi? We've seen better acting than that.
I forgot about
it's just so it's so nostalgic. Like
wow.
But they are both amazing. They both have a place in my heart, especially Kendrick. They both have a place in my heart, but
and you can hear the difficulty. She is really struggling with this.
Because it's hard.
I don't know who to pick either.
It's hard. Drake is like
y'all bugging.
But it's not.
And Drake got so many. Come on, bro. It's Drake.
That's what I just said. It's Drake.
I mean,
don't act like that.
All I'm saying is, that nigga is owing. How many songs Pusha T dropped? 2? That nigga is 0-4.
Maybe battle rapping just ain't for him, bro.
It's not. He got no. It's not. It's not.
It's not.
It ain't for
So
everybody.
he probably shouldn't indulge.
Yeah.
That's the best thing that he probably could do.
He could
And
just
especially not
remain
with
silent.
these two crafty ass niggas.
He could just remain silent, and that'll be the best response.
Yeah.
And just keep dropping heaters, bro.
Yeah, just
which is also what Kendrick said in the song. He said, "Keep making me dance and wave my hand, and we won't have any more problems."
Yeah. But
that's also why I'm Team Kendrick. See, he speaks for all of us.
Okay, all right.
Ooh,
you gotta delete one. No Limits, No Limit Records, or Cash Money.
Oddly specific to me.
Yeah, you know I did. I had to. No Limit Soldiers, or No Limit Records, and Cash Money Records.
No Limit can go.
No Limit can't go.
Can.
Oh, it can. Okay.
Yeah. I'll take
it. Damn.
That's tough.
That's tough. I'm not saying you picked the wrong one. One, because everybody has their own opinion. Two, because right is right and wrong is wrong. So I do agree that I do think Cash Money is the winner, but it is tough.
That is tough, dog. They definitely some pillars. I think they paved the way, but
Cash Money definitely
they laid the blueprint for others to come and do better. I think.
Yeah.
And Cash Money to me, I think did a little bit better.
Yeah.
Cancel one. Wayne.
Kevin Gates.
And Kevin Gates.
Yeah. Cancel Kevin Gates.
This one was easy.
Is that strictly music while you're saying that, or is it Kevin Gates as a whole? Is it the fact that he charges cars with his hands, or
yeah, it's a weird nigga. I like Kevin Gates. No, I like Kevin Gates, but yeah.
I mean, this was a no-brainer.
No brainer.
It was.
Okay.
It was.
It's
all right.
Brainer.
Maid or chef for life?
Chef. I'm a better cook than I am a cleaner.
Ooh.
Wait.
So she. Wait, what did you pick again?
A chef.
You'd rather have a chef for life, or you?
Oh, I thought that was if I would rather be one.
Oh no! Sorry.
No. Which one would you rather have? Because you can cook.
A maid.
You'd rather have a maid.
Yeah.
Because people don't know. That's something we didn't get to touch on. Is how well Alasha can cook. So I was like, I wonder. Yeah. Like me, I'm at the point. I damn near want both.
That baked man, I haven't made that baked ziti in so long.
Dog, that baked ziti used to get me in trouble.
Man.
Change your life.
That baked ziti.
Listen, I really used to get in trouble behind the baked ziti, dog.
Wait, which you talking about? Because you.
Yeah.
Right.
When me and Jalen was together.
Oh, I thought you was talking about.
No.
Because y'all know.
Well, Jalen had tried to make it one time.
Oh, hell no. I thought you were talking about your stomach.
No.
Coop got a sensitive stomach, y'all.
I do too. It's okay, Coop.
Yeah.
Damn,
like
I didn't know that was your business to tell.
What, did you got a sensitive stomach?
Yeah, nigga. You look like okay, we're not gonna do this. All right. Anyway.
It wasn't even meant to be an insult, man. Baked ziti got a lot of cheese in it.
Just the cheese and the milks be fucking me up. All right. Can't fuck with the dairy, okay? Everybody know now. My stomach can't handle it.
He not gonna put a banner up of that. He put everything else up.
No, I'm not. You know why? That's the beauty of having control of what's going on.
Wow.
Nah, but the baked ziti though, shit was crazy.
And the lasagna.
Oh man. I came by y'all and made birria tacos. I made birria tacos in DC and in Florida. They didn't come out right in DC, but in Florida,
man, what?
Jalen didn't have good pans to fry in. So
I got the good pans.
The little stuff matters. Them tacos went crazy.
Them tacos,
They're so involved, but worth the effort.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
okay.
Maid. Definitely a Maid.
I think this is the last one.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh.
I mean, I know the answer to this, but
1000%, easily, quite easily, New Orleans bounce. Not even a thought. I saw New Orleans bounce and just picked it before you put go-go music. Didn't even.
you know how to do the New Orleans bounce? You be dancing to the New Orleans bounce music?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. I'm just,
Do y'all remember me being a good dancer?
I mean, I said I didn't. You know what? To come think about it, no, not at all.
Not once, not ever.
When describing me, have y'all ever said Laisha, the one that can dance?
Hell no.
So
I wasn't gonna say it.
No.
But you were so enthusiastic about New Orleans bounce. I mean, obviously you're from New Orleans and it's gonna beat go-go music, but I just figured maybe you might do a little bit of dancing.
I thought you'd at least thought about it. Go-go music has a place in this world too. It's really good.
Yeah. No. It's cool music, but I mean, put up against New Orleans.
Every time I hear it, I'd be like, man, turn that shit off, please.
No.
I'm dead serious, dog. That shit not move me at all. Kind of pisses me off. They be having that shit so loud.
I mean, out there they do it so much. You turn on any random street corner and it's like a whole little niggas beating on buckets out there. But
I'm over it.
Yeah, I could see that. I think I hear it so seldom that I appreciate it when it comes up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. So I think that was the last one.
That was good, brother. We got to title the segment. It was good. I don't know what we're gonna call it.
I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. Maybe we let the people listening figure it out. Laisha, what you think we should call it?
It gotta be an eye grabber. It gotta be something like when they look at it. That's how I go ahead.
We're gonna figure it out.
We're gonna figure it out.
Put what kind of titles y'all be doing?
For the episodes or just for that segment?
Yeah.
I mean, we I don't know. We do a lot of we take shit that we like in culture and kind of remix it and flip it type of shit.
Yeah, we try to stay pretty genuine and fluid with that. We're not sticking to nothing crazy. We just kind of cater toward
try to show it. Yeah.
What the episode was about and how we can relate it to the community or just society.
I don't know, maybe something about resiliency sounds so. Having the word resilient in there sounds.
She's want to put the title of her episode.
Oh, for your episode?
Yeah. That's what we was talking about?
Okay. Yeah. Resiliency?
I thought that's what we was talking about.
No, we was talking about the segment that we just did.
The this or that.
Oh.
Right.
But so do you want to name this episode? What would you like to name this episode? Resiliency? We're gonna think about it a little bit because resiliency is huge though. We could name it that for real.
Fly before you fall.
Not feeling him.
We're gonna come up with something. I'm gonna try to tie resiliency in there somehow for sure. Maybe I can.
No limit soldier. No limit soldier. A soldier is resilient. She's from New Orleans.
I like that.
No limit soldier.
But y'all don't think that's cringe?
No.
It's real.
Throw it all makes sense when people listen to it.
Yeah.
I like that. Real.
You're
You
not
got to put real in front of it. You got to put real in front of it.
real No Limit Soldier. Ooh.
Alasha Green, the real No Limit Soldier.
That's
Nigga, this
crazy.
ain't a fucking movie, dog. That's like a documentary title. I'm just saying we added too much to it. It's got to be like a track, like a song.
No limit.
Just put No Limit Soldier.
Soldier.
Yeah.
Okay.
You was about to put No Limit Soldier, the Alasha Green story, airing on Friday.
I had a great time.
This was incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had a great time.
I'm very happy to have had you on the show. You're great.
I'm very happy. I honestly hope that, you know, people listen, and if they knew me or knew of me and like never knew who I was, that, you know, they listen to this and it kind of sheds light on me and what Black women go through in the military, like what so many Black women go through on a small scale, on a large scale. But I hope it's just like shed some light and some insight.
And where the military needs to do a whole lot fucking better.
Mm-hmm.
Because people shouldn't be sending their children to places where they have to get treated like this.
They should not. So, yeah.
Well, Alasha, we appreciate you for coming on the show with us. It's been a pleasure. Everyone that's out there listening right now, y'all already know the drill. You got to like, share, help us to grow. And I think that concludes this episode.
And take care of your fucking wingman.
Yeah, take care of your wingman.
Do that.
Alasha, take care of yourself. We will talk soon.
Yes. I'm about
right.
to go on summer break, so before my last semester. So yeah.
What you gonna do this? What you gonna do this summer?
Work. I got an externship, a nurse externship. I'll be working in the surgical ICU, and it'll mainly be dealing with like people dealing with cardiac problems, and that's kind of what I wanted to do, like cardiac, heart failure, heart attack, like stuff like that.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
And we'll catch y'all on the next one.
You're not gonna tell me goodnight, Coop?
Do I just hang up or do?
Oh, nigga, you talked about me. You talking about Alasha in a damn documentary. Fuck you.
It was of sorts.
That's all, folks.
Ball out. Hey, dumb to done. I've been trying to learn from the true masters while showing white master no mercy. I can hear the ancestors saying reimburse me. Laying of the juice, all you see these bitches not worthy. Hard on the pressure, to start bench pressing. Tween hella heavy, gotta watch where you stepping. Smoking on the gifts, got blended for my crew. Trying to keep this rap shit in my front view. See what I see, then you know it ain't right. Some hustle harder, make these niggas think twice. We all do this rap shit in some kind of nice. Most in denial, cause it really ain't their life. Most gon' wither by the side like tide. Either way they go and make it move.